is Monikara, and welcome to my very mistake-riddled PC build video. I'm not a professional by any means, and as you can see, as I go through the video, I am quite literally following a tutorial on my iPad on how to put together a PC. So yeah, I've been really wanting to build my own PC for years. I had one before I moved, and my father actually helped me build that, but it broke during my move, so I was without a PC for a very long time. But after a year of waiting and saving for parts, we finally got it. So we're finally putting it together today. Here I'm just showing you the screwdriver that I'll be using to put together everything. It's pretty cool. It's my first time using an electric screwdriver, so that'll be cool. This is my GPU. This is my motherboard. It's by Asus, and if you want any of the PC specs, they will all be linked in the description, along with a PC part picker. So yeah, here we're putting together the motherboard, which is kind of like the heart of the PC, I would say, in a way. Everything connects to it, and it can sometimes be the most challenging part of the build. And here are all of the extra accessories that it came with. It even comes with things like a keychain and some stickers, which I appreciate about Asus motherboards. So yeah, this build, I would say, took around 13 hours to put together. It was 13 hours straight, but I think it was well worth it, even though I was so tired by the end of the night. I started building at like 10 a.m. and I finished officially at like 1. Putting the CPU in the motherboard was probably one of the easier steps of this entire process. It wasn't too difficult, it was just a little more difficult to do with long nails. I would say if you are gonna build a PC, maybe don't do it after a manicure, or honestly do whatever you want. You live your best life. Here is the RAM that I'll be using. It's by G-Skill, and it's the Trident C Royal in Silver. I like this one in particular because it kind of looks like ice in your PC, and it's just, I don't know, it's super cool, and it works well with the motherboard, so you only have to change all the RGB through one program. Here's the storage I'll be using. It's a 2TB Western Digital Black SN770, and it's honestly the only storage I have in this PC. I'll add more later, but as of right now, this is all that I need. Luckily, installing that was a lot easier than I was anticipating, and I've honestly been surprised at how small it is in size. Like physical size, not like, storage, you know what I mean? I cannot tell you how many times my hair made an appearance in this build. I'm so sorry. I should have just put it in a ponytail. That's probably something else I would recommend. Just straight up tie your hair up. Oh, my PC case is the Hyte Y60 in Snow White from Hyte. And it came with a pretty hefty manual of like how to fit everything together. So putting things in this case wasn't super difficult. I would say it was more difficult to remove the glass panels and the top panel, but after you look at the manual, everything was super easy. This is probably one of the more unique parts of my PC build. I have this cute little chibi swinging sage that I got from Chibibuddies. I love it so much, and obviously I wanted this build to represent a game that I loved very much at the time. I can't say that much about it today, but yeah. What I've noticed mainly in this whole PC building process is there are a lot of screws, and you will probably lose a good chunk of them. I am pretty sure I have 5 loose screws in my PC, but I haven't run into any issues yet, so, hopefully it stays that way. Here's the radiator that I'm putting together. Putting this together, it wasn't super difficult, but the tutorial that I was following along with originally had made some mistakes, and I didn't realize about it until I had to look at their comment section, and I had to adjust accordingly, so that probably took another hour fixing, but honestly, that's on me. Here's the power supply. And as you can see, all of my parts here are white, and of course, with any PC builds, if you want it to be a certain aesthetic, you do have to keep in mind that things are going to be priced differently. And honestly, that's just kind of the way things are. If you want things in a specific aesthetic, just be prepared to pay a little bit more. I'd say the most difficult part for me to figure out on how to put together, if that makes sense, was probably connecting a lot of the power supply ports to the actual motherboard. Things can be very simple if you study the manuals for all of your parts, and I thought I did a good amount of that beforehand, but I still found myself running into some confusing points. And that's totally fine, because I think I learned at the end of the day. I hope. It works, so it's fine. Oh, and I definitely made sure at every step of the way to give myself a pat on the back, because oh my god, I was hungry, I was starving, I wanted this to be over, I was regretting things, but it's okay. But we had one more part left. All we had left was the star of the show, my pink GPU from Galax, the RTX 4070. Installing this wasn't too bad, but I was also just hoping I broke nothing else along the way. Not that I broke anything, but like, you know, I was just worried. I really wanted to have more unique parts in my PC, so I got this pink GPU from Galax. It's an RTX 4070, and honestly, I think it's one of the highlights of my build. And now, we're gonna try and put things back together, and then we're gonna see if it turns on. And at this point, I was freaking out. I was on a Discord call with my partner at the time, and I was just showing them everything and freaking out. But as you can see, there were still some parts that weren't working properly, but don't worry, I eventually fixed those, and here's the final look. Some extra additions, as you can see, with the cherry blossom garlands and the extra fans and a couple more figures, but overall this is the completed build. But at this point, I'm ready to test out some games. So luckily, all of my games run at very good specs. I play a lot of Overwatch, and because I'm also on an ultra-wide monitor, I can upscale things to like 4K gaming, and I was getting around 150 FPS on Overwatch on this ultra-wide display, which I love. It honestly ends up being my favorite game at times, but at other times, I'm found uninstalling this game. So yeah, I've also been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. I love this game so much, honestly. It's probably one of the only RPGs that I really love at this point. But I'm gonna be honest, it's been really hard to romance Astarion. So I kind of settled for Gale, but each time I try to break up with him, he likes to threaten to blow himself up. So I don't know how I really feel about this game. It's taken me a while to complete. But like, I know you guys want to know about performance, and I get like a good 120 FPS on this game with like ultra settings, and especially on an ultra wide display, that's really important. And yeah, it runs smoothly. I haven't had any issues, and I've been using this PC for 3 months. So yeah. Next is a game I have a love-hate relationship with, but I keep coming back. Valorant. I love Valorant so much. I especially love the new agent that they added, Clove. I think when they added them to the game, I have just been running into a lot of wholesome players and just like a lot of more accepting, beautiful games. So I don't know. And also, Clove has some really cool abilities. On Valorant, I'm usually getting 300 FPS. I have no issues whatsoever. Valorant runs like chef's kiss, you know? It's so good. But that about wraps up the video. I'll leave all of my parts and specifications linked down below. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. I'm happy to answer any of them. And I hope you'll enjoy more videos like this in the future. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you want to subscribe, you should totally subscribe. Like, that would be super cool. Okay, bye.